In the annals of naval history, few tales are as captivating as that of the mighty USS Wisconsin, one of America's legendary Iowa-class battleships. And in 1952, during the height of the Korean War, she found herself in a situation that tested not only her resilience, but also her crew's composure. When a North Korean 155mm gun managed to score a direct hit on the ship, causing minimal damage but undeniable embarrassment. What followed was a display of naval firepower so overwhelming, so disproportionately ferocious, that it left even her escorting ships in awe. Made of manganese bronze, these shields were thick and robustly built to withstand high explosive blasts and heavy ordnance. Launched in 1944 and commissioned in 1945. This Iowa-class battleship was one of the last and largest battleships ever constructed. She was a product of an era when these giants of the sea were considered the ultimate expression of naval power. At 887 feet long, and with a beam of 108 feet, she was a floating city of steel. Walking through her decks is like stepping into a bygone era. You can stand in the shadow of her massive guns, imagining the deafening roar they once created. They knew the drill well. Every sailor on board understood his role in this intricate dance of firepower, and they executed it with precision and speed. They were the backbone of the ship, the unseen force that made all the difference. Their training had prepared them for this moment. Their teamwork was the envy of the Navy, and their bravery was about to be put to the ultimate test. As the order to fire was given, the Wisconsin transformed into a symphony of controlled chaos. Soon, the story of how the Wisconsin silenced a North Korean gun battery reached even her escorting ship, the USS Duncan. The Duncan, impressed by the sheer force that Wisconsin had unleashed, couldn't resist sending a playful signal to her fellowship. She played a crucial role in shaping the course of the conflict, her name becoming synonymous with unwavering power and unmatched precision. Temper, temper, it read, acknowledging the battleship's legendary loss of cool under fire. These projectiles weren't just weapons. The earth trembled as the massive shells slammed into the target, sending up a colossal cloud of smoke and debris. The North Korean gun battery, which had so boldly challenged the Wisconsin, ceased to exist. Not a trace of it remained. The target, the North Korean gun battery, was a distant speck in the landscape. If you found this video engaging, don't forget to show your support. By doing so, you'll be helping us bring more captivating stories of naval history to life. And if you have your own tales of adventure or historical accounts you'd like to share, our platform provides a perfect space for you to do so. Until next time, stay tuned and keep exploring. Who knows, you might just uncover your next big adventure right here. It was a moment of quiet contemplation, a brief pause before the storm of activity resumed. For the crew of the Wisconsin, this wasn't just a battle. It was a testament to their training, their courage, and their ship's unparalleled power. Yet the Wisconsin-S guns were so precise that they could hit it with the accuracy of a sniper. The rhythmic cadence of loading and firing commenced. The air crackled with energy as the massive guns roared to life. It wasn't just a display of firepower. It was a spectacle of engineering brilliance. Each gun was a masterpiece of mechanical engineering, capable of feats of strength and accuracy that were nothing short of astonishing. You can explore the cramped quarters where sailors once lived and worked, gaining a glimpse into their lives. Visiting the Wisconsin isn't just a trip to a museum. It's a journey through naval history. Her nigh 16-inch guns could shoot over 20 miles, sending over 2,700-pound armor-piercing shells on a trajectory of utter destruction. These weapons weren't just instruments of warfare. They were symbols of an era when battleships ruled the seas. So while the impact shook the ship and sent sparks flying, the actual damage was remarkably minimal. Her engines were marvels of mechanical engineering, capable of propelling her to speeds of over 30 knots. Her armor was state-of-the-art, designed to protect her from even the most powerful enemy fire. She wasn't just a weapon of war. She was a floating fortress. 3 sailors sustained minor injuries, but there were no fatalities. On board the Wisconsin, there was a bustling microcosm of life. Thousands of sailors called her home during her service, each playing a crucial role in keeping her afloat and her guns firing. Life aboard was not just about the hum of activity. It was about discipline, camaraderie, and an unwavering sense of duty. The ship's armor had held firm, but the psychological impact of the event was significant. It wasn't every day that a battleship, the pinnacle of naval engineering and firepower, took a direct hit, and certainly not without consequence. The crew, already battle-hardened. There was a palpable tension as they assessed the situation and prepared for retaliation. One escorting ship even signaled back, "Temper, temper," acknowledging the battleship's legendary response to that insult. So sit back, grab a life raft, and get ready to be swept away in the epic story of the USS Wisconsin and the time she unleashed hell. The year was 1952 and the Korean War was raging. The USS Wisconsin, known colloquially as Big E, was engaged in one of her primary roles, shore bombardment, tasked with providing crucial gunfire support to UN forces on the ground. She was strategically positioned off the coast, ready to unleash her formidable firepower on enemy positions whenever needed. Suddenly, her comm routine was shattered. A report came in. A North Korean 155mm gun battery had scored a direct hit on the ship. The shot had been fired from a concealed position on shore, a sneaky tactic the North Koreans were known for. It was unexpected, but not entirely surprising. The question on everyone's lips was, where did they hit her? The answer, surprisingly, was a location not typically associated with a battleship's vulnerable points: the shield of a starboard side twin 40mm gun mount. Such hits were usually shrugged off by Iowa-class battleships. But before we delve into the heart-pounding crescendo of this tale, let's take a moment to marvel at the behemoth that is the USS Wisconsin. But the Wisconsin was more than just brute force. Her design incorporated advanced technology and innovative engineering. But perhaps even more fascinating than her physical attributes was the sheer manpower required to operate her. Today, she rests at Nordicus, in Norfolk, Virginia, open to the public as a museum ship. Now let us get back to the fiery tale of the USS Wisconsin and the North Korean 155mm gun that dared to challenge her might. As the crew of the Wisconsin sprung into action, their anger and determination were palpable. But what truly made the Wisconsin such a formidable force was not just her size or firepower, it was her crew. These men weren't just sailors. As the massive shell streaked skyward, leaving fiery trails in their wake, the crew of the Wisconsin stood back and watched with grim satisfaction. The ensuing explosion was more than just a burst of fireworks. It was a statement, a resounding declaration of the Wisconsin's power. As the dust settled, the crew of the Wisconsin stood in the aftermath of their fury. The silence that followed the barrage was deafening. Word of their astonishing feat spread like wildfire through the naval ranks. It was a lighthearted moment in the midst of a serious conflict, a salute to a crew that had taken their ship's motto, aimed for the center of mass to heart, and delivered a blow that was nothing short of spectacular. The USS Wisconsin continued her service in the Korean War, a silent but deadly presence, until the armistice in 1953. Today, the story of the Wisconsin and the time she lost her temper is a legendary anecdote. Within the U.S. Navy, a testament to the raw, unbridled power of the battleship and the crew's fierce pride. And that brings us to the end of our thrilling journey through time aboard the USS Wisconsin.